And
How much like Jared do I look right now?
oh god. Before I go live with this,
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Can we talk about this? Can we? Okay. I'm sorry. I don't mean to jump in here, but like, dude, the fact that I did the whole like ding ding round 2 thing.
For you got something good, but you know if that's what you
No,
get,
it'd be hilarious.
if that's what you get, that's what you get. I'm not gonna.
But you might die tonight.
all right, hang on. I'm about to start it live. Nope.
You have it. I gave it back to you last night. Yeah. Well, check your purse. Make sure before I lie to you. Okay.
Dustin, I'm just waiting to hear I said go back to bed, China.
That's from a show. Don't worry about it, baby.
Stella, you haven't, Bree, he hasn't introduced you to Stella?
I have tried, and it is so hard to find it. It's not that she won't watch it, because she's a big fan of Michael Ian Black and Michael Showalter and David Wayne. But it's so hard to find.
And Sam Rockwell.
Well, that one episode, sure. Honestly, if I could just borrow that from you.
Yes, please. Please.
Because I really want. There she is. I really want her.
Well, I'm definitely not chugging a beer in the corner.
I really want her to see Stella, because I think she would absolutely love it.
It's a life changer.
I actually got her to watch. Start watching.
That's the two Michaels, right?
Michael Showalter and Ian Black and David Wayne.
I think I've seen it.
No. You've seen Wet Hot American Summer.
Even if you have, see it again.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I know you have not seen. I know you have not seen the series.
Okay.
But I actually just got her to start watching Arrested Development.
Hell yeah.
Good.
Oh yeah, it was a while with that.
We finished the first season, and we need to keep going.
Yes, plugging along.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone.
Perfect timing.
Again. Are we live now, or what's the deal?
Yeah, we are. Mary just wanted to actually show me what Bean Dip was doing. He was catting.
Oh, the cat
in the cat bed. She was like, look at the cat being cat being a cat.
So precious.
Mary's just like, look, Bean Dip.
And I've been on acid this whole time, and she was like, "You keep carrying this around like it's a kitten."
Yeah,
It's been out of the fridge for like 2 weeks.
I have to be serious here. Now, this old dude is about, what, 12 or 13?
Oh, wow. He looks great for his age.
About 11. We've seen so many posts on Facebook in the last, couple of months that, we've got these kittens, or I found this kitten, or whatever.
Do you want a kitten?
That old dude that you just saw, that guy needs a little kitten to straighten himself out, because he is an only child and he acts like it, and he needs someone else to be around that's like, yeah, you're not just everything, buddy. But she won't do it. She won't let me get another little animal,
because she keeps killing him.
Damn it, Bree.
What are these bones?
That's
again?
why, Mike. Yeah, sure. It's because she keeps killing them.
No.
Right.
There are bones under the bed.
Yeah.
I've seen them. You already showed them. You're like, these are the remains she has destroyed.
I'm next.
Yeah. No, we don't talk about that, because.
So,
Next.
I would like to present here. This is Mary. This is the first time she's actually appeared on Thanks for Nothing.
Hi, Mary.
Thank you.
Hi.
So she only had one true interest for being on the show, and it's something that her and I have discussed a lot over throughout the months, especially during COVID. And apparently I have issues with female actors or female entertainers, and how I apparently judge them a little bit too hard in the beginning before actually giving them a real shot. Maybe I just look at them based on looks and I go, nope, not good enough, and that's it. And it was funny.
So you're telling us that you're prejudiced.
I think I am.
I said he should discuss this in therapy first, but he said no podcast.
He's on a lot of pills right now.
No, so
therapy.
I used to be very anti Tina Fey. I just didn't think she was funny. I just never really gave her a shot. And she was screaming at me about how good 30 Rock was. And I maybe have watched 2 or 3 episodes, but the moment Tina Fey's face popped up, I was like, you know what? That's just not for me. You know, I've also had the very unpopular opinion, but a very true fact at the same time, that women, once they reach over the age of 35, there are less and less roles in Hollywood for them, which is a very, very true fact. Now, when you say that to a woman, it becomes offensive, saying, what, you don't think women are good actresses after they're 35? No, I didn't.
I'm not disagreeing with the fact that there are less roles for women as they age.
First time she said this.
There are.
First time she's ever said this.
I said, I was asking why is that?
So in my preparation for, because you mentioned this in our pre-show prep.
Every conversation we've ever had.
In my pre-show prep, I was looking up some big heavy hitters in Hollywood and whatnot. And one of them that came up was Mindy Kaling.
Oh, yeah.
Who I think is hilarious, and I would love to see more of her work. And so she actually herself said that, yeah, I've lived that awesome actor lifestyle. I've pretty much done everything I want to do. Now it's time for me to take a step back and give chances to other women and more talent. But she says that if you ever go into a writing room and there's women in there, there's hardly ever any women over 45. Ever.
I believe it. 100%. And so, I look at...
It's like whenever you turn 24 in porn, you start doing movies.
You start going into stepbrother porn.
Stepmother,
yeah.
Oh, stepmother. So sorry.
And I'm like, that's
stepmom. What are you doing?
Stepmom, stop it, stepmom. You're my stepmom. I can't believe my dad married a 22-year-old woman, stepmom.
You're younger than me, stepmom.
They're too old. They're too old for porn.
Too old. Once they reach 20, I'd say 25, dead.
It goes full MILF after that. It does. Like there's nothing else. Like there's like a sweet prime. I feel like the sweet prime of pornography, that's probably what, 22 to 24. And then after that, they're like, nobody wants me anymore. I'm like, yes, you're good.
22?
What?
22?
The prime for porn, I would say, is 22 to 24.
And how many 18, I get it, but 18-year-olds are in porn?
A lot. I'm not saying, what was it, Senator Palpatine? We'll be watching your career with great interest.
Oh, my God. I was going to bring up perfect case in point with this specifically. There is a great episode of 30 Rock. Hi. Where Jenna's the character Jenna Maroney, she is auditioning and gets the role for a TV series. And she thinks that she, a 35 to 40-year-old woman, is the main character.
She's the daughter that goes to like a freshman at NYU, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And she assumed... Do what?
Wasn't the Rouger?
No.
No, it was not the Rouger. It was Urban Fervor.
There was also an episode with Carrie Fisher on 30 Rock where it goes way into
Rosemary's Baby.
Yes, aging in Hollywood.
The point of that specific episode was that Jenna thought, who is an aging actor or comedian, she goes into this whole project thinking that she is going to be the main person. And it turns out that she was hired to play a mom. And that freaks her out because she's got that point in her career where
she's the mom.
You're kind of now the mom. And she jumps to the conclusion that, well, I can either go away or do these other things, or I can turn into Meryl Streep and just be that woman that's, you know, the older lady that just keeps kind of coming through. Not necessarily an old lady, but the older.
So going off of that, one, I want to say hi to Scott, Myra, Aaron, and Holden. Long time no
Hi.
talk.
Hello there.
Thank you guys for tuning in this evening. So going off of Meryl Streep, you know, the legendary Meryl Streep, you know, she wouldn't have had her career without a man helping her. Okay, you see, that was a dick move to actually say that. Dick move. I know. Dick move. No, but Robert De Niro.
Yeah, the same could be said for Jennifer Lawrence and Harvey Weinstein. But, you know, we don't bring that up.
We didn't bring up Meryl Streep, who's what? Is she almost 70 now?
Oh, probably older.
Yeah,
well, she's
a little
70.
younger. I'd say late 60s. I don't know.
I'd say 73.
I don't know.
Okay,
I feel like she's older than
maybe
that.
Time, yes.
Okay, but the point I'm trying to make is that with Meryl Streep, so late 60s, early 70s, we'll say she's probably around that age. She was discovered for Taxi Driver by Robert De Niro. That's where she got her big break at the time. Meryl Streep is almost like an anomaly when it comes to older female actresses. She nails every role she ever does. And I mean, like, I'm sure she's an idol to many, many female actresses, a great inspiration. Okay, so let's look at Bette Midler's career.
She did a duet with Tom Waits.
Career.
She did a duet with Tom Waits.
Okay, so what? So she did that.
To interrupt. I'm so sorry to interrupt. Is that a Meredith behind you?
Yes.
So she did that. She did Hocus Pocus and For the Boys. I don't know a whole bunch of other. Well, wait. What did that
also in Meet the Parent or Meet the
Father? No, that wasn't Bette the Midler. That wasn't Bette Midler. That was no. Was that Bette? No, that was.
She was Ben Stiller's mom in Meet the Fockers with Dustin Hoffman.
I think that was. Wait, who was Bewitched?
Bette Midler.
Who played Bewitched?
And Bewitched.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
No. Bewitched. The old school show.
Oh.
The original. I don't fucking know. No, the original Bewitched.
You mean Wizard of Oz?
No, the Bewitched, the TV. Yeah, this is spinning off course real quick here.
Yeah, Wizards of Waverly Place. Yeah, I know.
Right. Yeah, Charmed. That Charmed show.
No,
that was witches, right?
Fucking.
And you don't take into consideration her stage work too. Okay.
Or her.
So we're really. I feel like
not everyone's a famous Hollywood star. Some people have careers outside of that, and you know what? Women tend to shine more in theater than in other places.
Right, and so
because they value them for their voices and their actual acting ability
than the physical appearance of the person. You know. So where I feel that this is going to sound very sexist. I love this conversation. I don't care. I'm gonna say it. But where men still have those roles because they almost fit every generational gap, you know, and there's more roles available to them than women. I feel like Hollywood hasn't made that shift yet in providing roles for women in their 40s and their women in their 50s. Who is the girl from George of the Jungle or Big Daddy, the blonde Leslie Mann. She's one of the few I can think of actually has kept a career.
I mean, there are plenty of women, but
absolutely.
Okay. What movie has she been in since 2007?
This is 40. I mean, like she was in This is 40. No. She was in Knocked Up.
This is a pretty good movie, but other than that.
I mean, like This is 40 and Knocked Up, or what? That was the sequel to Knocked Up. Was This is 40?
It was a spiritual sequel.
I think
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. He just
Jennifer
watches Judd
Lopez.
Apatow movies, and that's it.
I don't watch any Judd Apatow movies.
Why?
But I mean, okay, you know what? I watched Baby Mama last night and I hated it. All right, that's the point of all.
That's
of this,
not Judd
all right?
Apatow. I don't think.
It's
That's
not.
Christina
It's not.
Fey and Amy Poehler, and you didn't like it?
I didn't like it at all.
Yeah,
That's
I reject
fine. That's
that.
your opinion.
But
Let me ask you, what do you have against people like Reese Witherspoon, who is a huge pillar in the industry as far as being an actress and a producer and a director? Olivia Wilde, who has been a actress and a director and a producer.
princess.
Do what?
And a princess.
Formerly,
yes.
now she's fianced to Jason Sudeikis, and they have 2 kids together, and I absolutely love that fact.
Makes me happy.
So I want to start on Reese Witherspoon. The problem I have with Reese Witherspoon is she gives births to Reese Witherspoons. I don't know if you've seen her daughter. It's
They're
Reese Witherspoon. It's a spawn. I don't think she had sex with anybody. I think it was just her.
She's asexual, and she
just like a seahorse. Reese Witherspoon came out of Reese Witherspoon. I don't know if you've seen a side by side of them two, but it is the exact same person. And
she just does it for the adrenochrome.
Do you think that her kids were born with her spoon or without her spoon?
Definitely without her spoon. They have to earn the spoon to be
Okay.
a Witherspoon.
So I'm going to ask you, why do you have a problem with Sandra Bullock?
That's a damn good one. Sandra Bullock, I felt like was very, very one-tracked. I did not get much of like a real acting appeal out of her. I didn't. I was not. There was something about her character, like in any movie she's ever played, Miss Congeniality or Crash or any of those.
Okay.
It was the same person.
Or
I would go off of that real fast.
Lake House or Bird Box. She was great in Bird Box. Like,
well,
yeah, I didn't see Bird Box.
Here's my thing. I think what I'm kind of maybe agreeing with you here with about women in the entertainment industry is there's two types. There's the writers and then the actresses. And so if you're a writer, a woman writer, your characters are gonna be actual women. Like Tina Fey is fucking hilarious in 30 Rock and very, very nuanced, despite what anyone thinks about it. That is a well-written character.
Yes.
All the women
the women on that show are very well written.
Yes. Any female writer is gonna have actual female characters. But when you get to the actresses, that's where you get your typecast to where men are writing it. And so you have like Sandra Bullock is a ultimate example. Like, we get it. You're tough, but feminine on the inside, but you're mostly tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, what was that movie she did? The football movie she did?
The Blind Side.
Yeah.
That was the one I was thinking of. Yeah, I did not like it. I was not a big Sandra Bullock fan in that movie. I wasn't.
But it's like they whenever writers are writing for women, like these actresses that we're talking about, it has to be like, oh, we can't make them too feminine because they're going to piss some people off. So we have to add some scene where they punch a guy or they do something overly masculine.
Yes, they have to come off as somewhat masculine. Yes.
Miss Congeniality.
I like that. I do. I do like that. But I'm gonna take that and put it in a different direction. Maybe it's because there wasn't as many female writers throughout the generations as there are today. Like, it's more prominent in the last 20 years of more female writers than what it's been.
Purposefully, yeah.
Yeah, and so when you had more male writers on sitcoms or TV shows, dramas, movies, whatever you may say, or however you have it, men write female characters in the minds of men. So men go, oh, female. So if I have to write this character, well, she's got really big boobs. And she walks on them down the stairs. She uses her boobs to walk down the stairs, and this is all she's good for.
Like,
so then the men keep writing it, and then they're like, oh well, those boobs aren't as perky as they once were. Well, she's no longer an actress, so here's another one. So it's almost like maybe my problem was that women weren't as prepared to take on, and this is. Calm down before everybody. Mary's about to walk out the door. She's already packed her bags. So she actually has 2 duffel bags right here. Ready to just walk out if I say the wrong thing. So women weren't prepared for like deeper character roles. And so
Their
now
brain couldn't handle it.
You are completely wrong.
I'm not wrong. What I'm saying, there
aren't actresses that have the ability to do deeper roles.
You see more powerful female roles today than what you did 20 or 30 years ago.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying. But
the actresses were always there. It's like, were they cast though?
But Sandra Bullock has always been there.
Okay, so
actually, we're done. Mary and I are just going to go back to arguing about it.
I'm going to try this. I don't know how well it's going to play, but I'm going to try to do this, and hopefully it plays out really well and you can hear it. But I feel like this clip from this movie, which it's as good as it gets, starring Jack Nicholson.
And the greatest actor of all time.
What did you say, Mason?
What happened to Helen
Greg
Hunt?
Kinnear.
Well, yeah, and Greg Kinnear and Helen Hunt. Yeah, sure.
Helen Hunt was number 2.
I love Helen Hunt. Helen Hunt, I've always had a crush on. Weird movie.
I don't disagree with you. Like, she's, for some reason, she is just like, oh, Helen Hunt.
Yeah, ever since you saw her boobs flying in the wind in Twister, you just never got enough of her. You know what I'm saying?
It was that, yeah.
It was that. That's right, Mike.
No, it wasn't Philip Seymour Hoffman. Just we crave meat. We crave sustenance. Dude, I'm going to try this, and I'll see. Hopefully, it'll work out. But I'm going to play something, and it's not hooked up to the laptop, so the sound quality and the video quality may not sound good. But I feel like this sums up this exact conversation perfectly. And
it's not going to play. 3, 2, 1. You built that up. So.
Oh, shit. I got an ad.
Jesus.
Ad over.
I can't read this. You usually move through here so quickly, and I just have so many questions I want to ask you. You have no idea what your work means to me.
What does it mean to you?
Somebody out there knows what it's like. Oh, come on. Just a couple of questions. How hard is that? How do you write women so well?
I'm a man. I take away reason and accountability.
That's kind of how I feel Hollywood treats women, honestly. And I'm not.
Well, I do agree with one thing on that. I mean, that's how women were treated for generations.
I still kind of think that's how women are treated.
Still today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
thank you, Mary.
And so there's a struggle for equality, but at the same time, the talent has to meet the equality.
The talent is there.
There's so much talent out there.
The talent is there. Are they going to cast the talent is another question.
It's the same argument of if a guy fucks a lot of girls, he's fucking awesome. If a girl fucks a lot of guys, you're a fucking whore.
Depends on if you're Harvey Weinstein or not.
Well, yeah. So with that, the fact that, look, and I'm not trying to turn this onto men or anything, but, when you talk about, like, women being casted for, entertainment roles, look, me, Dustin, Mike, the three of us, if we went to Hollywood, we would be laughed out of the fucking building if we ever even auditioned for something. I am 32 years old, and I could probably play a 14-year-old on some Disney show because I'm not 6'3" with muscles. Hollywood has its types, and with women, it's kind of the same thing. They don't want, with men, they don't want, anything other than your Hemsworth brothers or whatever. With women, you have to be suitable for a role to where you are strong, but you are also submissive, and you are you give off the appearance. So it's really the problem is not women or anything. It's the industry in general, and it's not even just Hollywood. It's really anything entertainment wise.
You can't be too strong, because if you're too strong, you're scary.
That's a put off. Like, no,
we don't want that.
Yeah.
Bitch.
So I want to
Well,
bring
we
in
don't
some of
mind bitches,
I want to bring in
but in
some
the
of the,
right context.
I want to bring in some of the comments here. So I want to say what's up to Spencer, Brittany,
Oh, hey,
Matt,
what's up?
and Izzy for joining us this evening. Thank you guys for this comment and join our conversation. When it comes to Brittany, no, you're right. Mason isn't lying when it comes to the actual appeal that women have to have in order to get their certain roles. Scott had said he always liked Jodie Foster, but he was never that big of a fan of her acting.
Well, he has no shot with her, so.
Okay.
But
honesty for me,
I love Jodie Foster.
Outside of Silence of the Lambs,
that's it. What else?
Outside, okay, so like she was in Inside Man, which was that Denzel movie. She wasn't that good.
A good performance.
What?
Look, I'm not going to say that Jodie Foster is a bad actress. She's not. But her only, in my opinion, that I have seen, and I have not seen her entire body of work. I want to qualify that. The only movie I've seen that she actually like really hit it home was Silence of the Lambs.
That was it.
That does not mean that she's a bad actress.
Well, what about Taxi Driver?
But with that, let me just say this: with what makes that movie unique, that puts it away from everything that we're even talking about, is that movie is so well written and based off a book, so you had that going. Yes. So it didn't, and
it had Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
As a best supporting or best actor with 16 minutes of screen time.
Which give him 5 minutes. But okay. No, real quick, that movie was so well written that gender roles, and that was 91?
Yeah.
90, 91, yeah, somewhere.
No, it was 91.
It mattered. Like it like you don't think that Jodie Foster's a woman, that anyone's a man. Like it doesn't matter, because the script was so well written and the performance was so great that nothing of that mattered. It could have been reversed entirely, would have been great, but that's kind of the point. Like, it's the writing, because you don't think about anything aside from what is actually going on. It's the more pandering, I guess, to where the cheaply written movies, I guess, that even are still good. You still have like the motherly role, the girlfriend role, the masculine role,
the safe roles.
Just typecast.
Yeah, yes. And also, I mean, like, I think Anthony Hopkins could like bring in a parade of whoever and make them like Academy Award winners,
right?
Just by playing right beside him. I mean, like, but I mean, that's just a master actor, like a master of influence.
Yeah, and that's part of the bias of Hollywood.
I reject that. It's Anthony Hopkins.
Not saying male or female on that. I'm saying it's Anthony Hopkins.
Still the bias. Anthony Hopkins happens to be there, and he's a damn good actor. So
yes.
Okay, so another movie though that comment was on was Contact. Did you guys see Contact?
I loved Contact.
I forgot about
that. She actually made me watch that. I hadn't seen it, and she made me watch it. And you know what? I absolutely loved it.
And do you know who fucking sucked in that movie? Matthew fucking McConaughey. He was pretty terrible in that movie. Jodie Foster actually played quite a good role in that movie. So
she did. Yeah, that's another one of Jodie Foster that I actually liked. Matthew McConaughey I didn't like so much, and that was Chase. Chase watched that because of part of his class.
Yep.
And I had never seen it. I'd never seen it, and I was thoroughly impressed. I really liked it. It was very good. What was the one? Arrival. That's the one. That's what I thought you meant when you said Contact.
Arrival. The new one. Yeah.
That's what jumped into my brain when you said Contact. I was thinking Arrival, because Bree did make me watch that, and I really like that movie.
Okay, so my last opinion, because we're gonna have to move on with the show here. One, Brittany, you're right. It is Sir Anthony Hopkins. Let me get that correct there.
We're not British.
Nope.
I don't have to recognize their customs.
But we will for Anthony Hopkins.
An absolutely terrible actress, and you guys can't respond because we have to move on with this, is Amy Adams. I can't stand her. But anyway, so we're done.
A poor man's Isla Fisher. Move on.
So this is episode number 107 of the Thanks For Nothing podcast. This is your host, Mike. To the left of me is the wonderful Mary.
Hello.
On my screen to the left of me is Mason, and right below is Dustin, who's always on the bottom. And so right now I want to talk about
here's the thing. On my screen, I'm on the top and Mason's on the bottom. That's why it's always like That's why I don't know.
That's why your fingers are moving in different directions.
Yeah, I don't know where to point.
It's why reality doesn't matter, guys. Move on.
Hold on. I need to make a quick shout out. I'm going to make a shout out to Autumn Childress for my wine glass. Thank you, Autumn.
Oh, it says you're always stressing me out. There you go. With that, guys, thanks for nothing, everybody.
I had nothing to do with that.
Let me tell you something.
I had nothing to do with it. If I never had any kind of thoughts about Autumn, all I would say is that you found yourself a good one, because my God, that pun is amazing.
Wait, are you talking about Autumn or Amy Adams? Or are you talking about Mary?
What?
I'm talking about the glass that Autumn got Mary. The one she was literally just holding up to the screen.
Not all white women are the same, okay?
Are you Amy Adams?
No, that's Jodie Foster.
So, what are we all drinking this evening? You know, right now I'm drinking
it's Charlize Theron.
I'm drinking my
No, it's Margot Robbie.
I'm drinking my adult Great Moscato Barefoot.
I am drinking Pinot Grigio.
Oh, good. What about you, Mason? What are you drinking this evening?
I have here.
No. What's the brand that Mary's drinking?
It's a brand from Kroger. Don't know for sure.
Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
It's Simple Life organic wine. I have a very simple and common concoction of Budweiser and vodka.
And not whiskey. I guess you ran out of whiskey?
Vodka was cheaper.
Oh, hey, COVID, right? So
$11.99 a bottle, so whatever.
Plus, you can just buy the hand sanitizer and drink that, right?
You really could, if you wanted to. What about you, Dustin? What are you drinking?
Actually, it is hand sanitizer.
I went simple today. I did a little bit more drinking before the show than I should have, and I'm just going straight with there we go.
Thank you for your honesty.
I love your confession. That's absolutely beautiful.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to our fans. I'm not gonna lie to them.
Sick.
I did a little more drinking before the show than I should have, and I'm going simple right now because I do not want to get way too overboard.
You're drinking on the job, is what you're saying.
You all know that I would.
For Aaron Turner, yes, Miller Lite is acceptable. As you can see, that's what he has chosen down there on the bottom. And Richard Marujo, thank you for joining in this evening. So what else have we got on here? Oh, yeah. I guess now we have to talk about some news segments. This is going to be a new
this is going to be interesting, dude.
Yeah, no, I kind of like mine because
no.
Mason
said, before we get into it, this is a brand new segment. We've never tried this before, and I'm of the opinion that either this is going to really work well and we can keep it.
Can we keep it between the writers?
Do what?
Can we keep it between us? How you're like, this is about to fuck up really bad.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Good grief. This is either going to really work well and we keep it, or it's going to kind of work and we need to tweak it, or it's just going to be completely terrible and we just need to scrap it. So I
don't think that at all.
Those are like the three options. What else do we have?
Okay, I honestly think it's just going to make people miserable. So go on.
Exactly.
Well, that's fair. So Dustin and I concocted this a few weeks ago. We hadn't tried it yet. It was based on a previous episode that we did where Mason had a really good news bit, like an uplifting thing, and then I just crashed it right back down to earth with something really negative. And I was like, what a beautiful segment, actually. That would be a lot of fun. So
what if we take all the good things and made them really bad?
So I'm going to start this off. This segment is called Uppers and Downers. How this works is we're going to have one really good feel-good story, and we're going to have that mix of the same topic. It could be anything that you want. It could be abortion. It could be politics, sports, whatever you want. You can have a positive abortion story and then a very sad abortion story. You know, just where you're like, oh, wow.
Aborted.
Where the kid wasn't. So I will go ahead and I'll start this off here. You guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to pull up this article real quick.
So Mason, how's the kid doing? Did you have a good Father's Day?
I had a great Father's Day. I had a very just just hung about and had a good day. So
You know what? In all
no-
honesty, it's really weird for me to be asking you that. Like, you and I are the same age, and you're having a Father's Day. Like,
we're
that's
different worlds away, man. It's all right. It's wild
blowing my
because
brain.
we went from 0 to 60, Dustin. We went from going out every night and getting hammered as we please to it's 8 o'clock. I got to put
We
the daughter
better-
down.
gotta be putting the brakes on.
Okay, so what my theme, and I'll actually announce the theme with this. So my theme is Down syndrome.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you guys.
This is going south really quickly.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for this. Before I say it, would one say that it's going down?
Yeah. You see, why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that?
I apologize before I said it. I said it.
Facebook won't have us anymore.
I want to go ahead. I also want to give a shout out to Casey Calbo, who is watching the show as well. But so
I want to give a shout out to Lori Underwood. That's my mother.
Your mother.
My mother.
Hi, married mom.
Miss Shields, it's good for you to be on here right now. So, speaking of Down syndrome, in London, there was a single gay man who was looking to adopt a child and was actually having a really, really hard time with it. You know, even for married couples here in the United States, you got to pass through a whole bunch of stuff in order to get be the perfect fit parent for a child. That being said, a single gay man in London is facing a few more hurdles that he has to go through in order to make that happen. So his adoption agency actually had set him up with a girl who had Down syndrome, who was rejected 20 times. So they are now father, and he adopted her. Yes,
awesome.
Father. So basically, a single father has revealed the joy his adopted daughter with Down syndrome has brought to his life after she was rejected by 20 other families. Luca Trapanese, who is 41, not from London. It was Naples, Italy. I was wrong about that.
Not the same.
Naples, Naples. So,
Nipples,
who
Italy.
adopted his daughter, Alba. He adopted his daughter, Alba, when she was 13 days old and has gained thousands of followers on Instagram, due to the actual process. When I first held her in my arms, I was overcome with joy. I felt she was my daughter straight away. Luca claims that as a single gay man, he was told by social services that he would only be able to adopt a child with special needs or behavioral issues. But having volunteered and worked with people with disabilities since his teens, he was not deterred. It's beautiful.
Good for him.
Good man.
Heartwarming.
Good for him.
And
Yeah.
what
I'm
an
even
entirely fucked up system that
Thanks
is.
for something.
Thanks for something, but fuck the system, man.
Oh yeah, no,
It's hard.
My God.
With so many children that actually, are in need of families or a stable life, they put up so many hurdles and a lot of money in order to make that happen, especially for couples who are infertile, or even single parents or whatever. They do put up a lot of issues in order to just make it a smooth, seamless, I don't want to say transaction because that just sounds weird, but I mean, yeah.
But it is.
That's exactly what it is.
But no, what a screwed up thing to where it's like, oh, hey, give this gay guy the problem child.
Yeah.
And then he just says, hey, go fuck yourself because this is a child of God and I love this child. So fuck you.
Yeah.
And it was rejected.
I guarantee you that dude's gonna take such great care of that kid.
Oh, of course, they'll be the best of friends. Of course, I mean they're life partners now, and that's what makes it so beautiful. So
There's a good man.
Look at that. And cheers to that. Yeah, cheers to that man.
That man, yes,
absolutely.
And God bless that little girl.
I'm glad she has a home now.
So how do you feel right now, Nathan?
Hmm?
How do you feel right now?
What about that story?
Yeah,
that hits me as a father. I mean,
that hits you as a father. So can I flip that now and bring you right back down?
I just want to say one thing first off too, that no matter what, if you're a good human being, and yes, I mean that strictly, if you're a good human being, because if you don't think this, you are a bad human being. But when you look at it at that child, then no matter what, Down's syndrome or in any issue whatsoever, doesn't matter. You love them. And if you don't love them with all your heart and soul, you're probably not a very decent human being. And that's just a
why did you have kids in the first place?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I believe that. So I just want to let you guys know that in the country of Iceland, Down syndrome is almost 100% eradicated.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means
bringing it down.
What?
I don't think it's necessarily.
You're supposed to be bringing it down, right?
Yeah, that is bringing it down.
Well,
is it though?
Wow, way to ruin my stories. Just saying.
Continue, but it's because of abortion.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let me actually just tell you one thing here. Just because a child has Down syndrome does not mean that, they can't live a perfectly full and healthy life. Now, that being said, I know somebody who's actually really close to me who had an option about, and I'm going to divert away from this story for a second, but somebody who was close to me who had a child of Down syndrome, and they were presented with an option and, were thinking about it, and they couldn't go through with it. I mean, that's what makes it everybody's choice. But at the same time, that child has a wonderful, healthy, happy life and has nothing but love and is growing and learning and doing everything. I just wanted to say that with prenatal screening being introduced in the early 2000s in Iceland, 99.7% of mothers, when a Down syndrome heartbeat or with the heartbeat would show that the child has Down syndrome, they aborted. So
I just want to clarify one thing that I did say earlier, or just literally a second ago. I'm talking about the people that say we're having a child and they give birth to. I'm not talking about like if you find out your child has Down syndrome, because that's a life commitment. That's financial.
Of course.
It was a child.
And if you say that I cannot do that, I cannot support that, I cannot give that child the life it needs, by all means, I give it to someone that can support that child.
Yeah, no,
I was meaning more so
as you can be. Like it's,
I was meaning more so like how the agencies say like, oh, you are going, oh this oh, you're gay, here, have this throwaway.
Well, the fact is the kid was turned down 20 times because he had Down syndrome.
Yeah, because probably some stuck-up white couple didn't want to accept a Down syndrome child. And this one dude was like, I want a kid. And they're like,
it's not even a stuck-up. I wouldn't even say it's a stuck-up couple or mother or father. What I'm going to say is that that's a lot of work. It's the same thing almost as like what the mother
20 times the kid was turned down. That's outrageous.
At the same time, I guarantee you there are so many, white couples out there that just, oh yeah, we want to adopt a kid. Oh, we have a kid for you to adopt, but it has Down syndrome.
Oh, thank you.
If you're adopting a kid, you have the money, you have the means, and you are, this isn't just like random people, going around. Like,
if you're adopting a kid, you're putting a lot of money into it.
Yeah. But we don't want a broken kid.
Exactly.
Oh, Dustin.
That's the mentality they have.
Normal child.
That's the mentality they have. And so with Iceland, that was the country you said, right? Iceland,
that's correct.
So I'm not for abortion. No one's for abortion. That's a stupid comment. No one's for abortion.
Abortion's awful, but everyone should have the ability to make their own choice regarding their body.
If you, I don't. How do you say this? The duress of the entire situation is mentally and physically taxing. So I don't blame people. I don't judge people that take that route. So, yeah, there we go. Take that for what you will.
I feel you on that. Dustin, I wanted to put the broken child in the intro of our show now because that was the most beautiful thing I think you've ever said in your entire life, and I want you to hear that on repeat for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
that was the worst thing I think that was ever fucking said.
But he's right.
Yeah, but here's the problem: is that you're not going to put it in context with what we were actually talking about. You're just gonna.
I'm just gonna go broken kid. I'm just gonna go broken
just
kid.
like the mainstream media.
Okay.
You're not gonna take me in context.
When Dustin runs for office one day, we're gonna put an ad out about how he thinks people with Down syndrome are broken.
So Brittany said, I don't know if you guys had heard about this, but Brittany had asked, did y'all see that story about the YouTube couple that adopted a child from China, made videos following their journey and everything? Then like a year later, they had him placed with another family because he had too many medical and special needs.
They did a rehoming
for that.
They did a rehoming like he was a goddamn puppy.
You signed up for that.
You signed up for that. So I know, and I feel like now that we're all arguing on this topic, I felt like I brought it back down to earth after the really good story. So it still fucking worked. All right. But Iceland had 99.7% almost eradication of Down syndrome. Regardless of what you believe, I think that's a really high number on like, oh, your child has Down syndrome.
99. Like 100%?
Almost 100%. Like, that's a high number.
99.
Those are rookie numbers.
Gotta get those numbers up.
No. All right, so okay, let's
move on. Yeah, let's move on from the subject. I think now's a good time.
Oh my God, Nathan, please go next. Will you please start talking?
Me?
Yes, I don't want to talk about that subject anymore.
No, I don't either.
Mason, what do you got? What do you got going on?
Okay, so mine's less severe as that.
It was mine, but
oh god,
whatever.
So, the good news story. Jose Andres, a celebrity professional chef, is planning to feed everyone that is voting. That had voted today in Kentucky. Like he's a celebrity chef.
Is it their primary?
Their primary, yes.
Okay.
So, celebrity chef Jose Andres has mobilized his charity World Central Kitchen to set up camp for Kentuckians voting in today's closely watched primary election.
Yeah, because we're all anxiously waiting to see if they're gonna ditch Mitch.
Ditch Mitch, no, the worst
fucking
American that we've, I think, seen in our lives. As he said,
from your point of view, you're not wrong.
Our team is here today in Louisville to ensure that people coming to vote have food and water, both while they wait and to take home with them after voting if needed. So a very touching story, I think, and
That's good for them. I'm really glad they're doing that.
Yes, he has done this for hurricane survivors, furloughed government workers, and people trapped aboard cruise ships at the beginning of COVID-19. So a very generous fellow. So to flip that for the downer, as to why, that's the upper, that's a very generous thing that man decided to do. The downer, normally Kentucky has 3,700 polling locations, and to cast their ballots today, they have fucking 170 locations.
Whoa.
And one location for major cities, I think, was for about a population of 600,000 people. They got rid of all the fucking polling locations.
95%.
95% on primary, on the day the primary vote's happening, 95% of their fucking polling places. And there's one reason for that, and that's to delay the fucking vote or suppress the fucking vote.
Yep.
And so, yes,
yeah.
This man comes out to feed the people because they have, in that major Louisville area, one polling place to go to. Could you imagine that with Fort Worth?
Oh no, absolutely.
There's one. Well, now Fort Worth has 1 million people, but at the same time, if there was one polling location for all of Fort Worth,
no,
you're not going. Yeah, and that's it. And so, one, I want to say hi to Nikki, hi to
Nikki.
Mike.
Nikki.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Nikki. Hi, Mike.
And Tiff. So
Hi,
she's
Tiff.
on right now as well. Hi, Tiffany. So with what you're saying there, this has been going on for decades now, and I'm tired of it. It is such a bullshit move.
What polling places were closed more so and first?
The ones that have less public transportation.
The ones that involve
Go further.
Go further.
Oh, you're talking about I get it.
Yeah. The sad reality.
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in this state, which we're in Texas, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Probably 6 months ago, decided that they were gonna cut back on voting locations as far as college students go, because why would we want college students to vote?
Yeah. Why would we want
Why do we want anyone to vote? Why can't we just keep the same people in power so that they can just keep doing the job that they're doing? Like,
if it's Kentucky too, so if McConnell just came out and said, "Hey, we only want these votes,
arm vote. We only want arm votes."
When it comes to
only arm votes, yeah, only people with arms.
No, so when it comes to the mail-in voting fraud or the fight about mail-in voting fraud, and then between that and gerrymandering, and also which polling locations are open, because I'll guarantee you when it comes to November, COVID's going to be a battle as well with what voting places are actually open. Just watch, wait and see. This isn't a big conspiracy. Just watch it. It's going to be like, oh well, we're going to open up this one, and this one. These precincts are going to be open, and we're going to merge these precincts to these precincts, and it's just like doing gerrymandering all over again.
There's only going to be one voting booth, and it's going to be in South Lake.
And so with every election, that's just what happens. With the powers to be in that area, whether you're Democrat or Republican, just whatever it is in that area, they're going to manipulate it to a point where like the majority are still going to go in one direction, which is true.
Now, Democrats never get a say in that. Like the gerrymandering is largely.
Well, yeah, because 10 years ago, when they did the census 10 years ago, the Republicans were in power, so they got to dictate how the next 10 years go. Ugh.
It's always the urban areas.
There needs to be
a large black population. Those are going to be the voting booths that are taken first.
There absolutely needs to be a nonpartisan, specific voting
committee,
council, whatever you want to call it. There needs to be a separate entity. If the people that get voted into office are the ones that get to draw the lines of their districts, that's the electees choosing who their voters are. And that's not democracy, man. That's not cool. And I'm not saying that because I tend to be more on the liberal side. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying we're not getting a fair shake because of the last 10 years and blah, blah, blah. No, that needs – I would be saying the same thing if it had been Democrats 10 years ago that were in charge and they drew their districts. Like, that's not – it's
not the point.
Un-American. It's not democratic.
Yeah, it's not going to solve anything. One, I want to say hello to Melody Blackman for being on here.
Hi, Melody.
Hello there.
So, Brittany had asked a question here. She's asking some good questions, but here you guys can answer this one. She heard some places were trying to do email ballots. Is that happening?
Never heard of that one.
I'd be fine with it. I don't care.
If you have that, your electronic signature, I guess. I mean,
I don't know, because there's so many like ways to hack into email servers,
and that's why they're trying to keep it as basic.
Oh yeah, sure.
But there's still.
Last I heard, the jury's still out about Hillary's emails. So. What about Ivanka's emails? What about Don Jr.'s emails?
The butter emails. What about the butter emails?
Oh.
But no, I mean, there are ways to verify. I think email might be harder. I don't know.
I do agree with that, though.
Yeah, the verification, because mail-in voting. First off, it's a felony to commit voter fraud. Second off, if you get a ballot sent to you that's not yours, and you commit voter fraud, you're also committing the felony of opening someone's mail. And it's for one vote, it's committing at probably close to 3 felonies.
Three or more felonies.
Aaron Turner says he does not approve of email ballots.
And that's fine. You're allowed to feel that way.
I agree with that.
None of us are saying that
one I can see
Yeah.
being
none of us are saying that needs to be the way it is. My question is, why is the president all of a sudden, after voting by mail, how many times, now saying that voting by mail is...
I feel like every election, it's always a shakeup. It's a shakeup about the mail-in voting.
Every time. It's all about voter suppression.
Voter suppression, voter fraud. Okay, so let's move it along. We got one more upper and downer.
Yeah. I got it.
We're getting hardcore political. Let's just keep going. Every one of our episodes fucking are. Hey, Jordan. Jordan's on. Hey, Jordan. Hey, what's up,
Jordan?
There he is.
So here we go. Back on Juneteenth, which for those of you who apparently didn't know that this was a thing, but every year on June 19th, we have this quasi-holiday called Juneteenth, marking the liberation of slaves. Anyway.
Why is there a white teenth?
Well, we all know this now because the president told us about it and drew attention to it. So now everybody knows about it. So, good for you, I guess.
He made it very popular.
Yes, he did. He heard from a lot of really good people. Jason Mraz.
Jason Mraz? What?
Yeah.
This is a downer to me.
Is he alive?
Downer.
Wait till I get to the downer. Jason Mraz donated the profits from his new album to the Black Lives Matter and other nonprofit corporations.
I hope you wrote in the check, I'm yours. He
pledged to donate the $250,000 advance for his new album, which is called Look for the Good. So look out for that in your record stores nearby you. He's trying to put his money where his mouth is. He's trying to show that he's socially conscious. So he's donating all the profits from this new album to the nonprofit organizations that support racial equality and justice and arts education. So good for him. Let's see. The initial 6 beneficiaries include Black Lives Matter, San Diego Young Artists Music Academy, Rise San Diego, which I don't know what that acronym is. It's all caps, so I assume it's an acronym. The Grassroots Law Project, and the Center on Policy Initiatives. It's an all reggae music album, and it's going to be released coming this Friday.
Dude. Sorry.
Jason Mraz, dude. Let him do
Hell
that.
yeah. Hell yeah, Jason. Thank you for that.
It's,
I tipped my fedora.
This past Friday. It was, I tipped my fedora to you, sir. Sorry, my straw fedora.
Yeah.
He released it this last Friday, and then he also is saying that along with all the profits, he's going to include his $250,000 advance on royalties for the album. So, good for him. That's
I like it.
Yeah, that's a good thing that he's doing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason Mraz.
Right.
I would never like your music.
It's probably because it's Jason Mraz. I don't know. Okay, go ahead, continue.
You're scaring me, Dustin. I'm legitimately concerned.
Why?
He wants more conversation on this. He's like, "Come on, guys, Jason Mraz."
I think you made up this story. I'm gonna be honest.
I think you got the Jason Mraz poster.
I'm literally reading off of the page. It's on the internet, so you know it's true.
What's the downer? Because I feel like you're
sorry. No, the downer is that Jason Mraz is still putting out albums.
Is that really your downer?
Yes.
I fucking love it, dude. That's beautiful. Dude, that was such a long upper, and then we're all like, "Yep, that's cool." And then he's like, "I love it. That's good. That's good. I love that so much."
I thought you guys would get a kick out of that.
So I want to say hi to Mom, Jasmine.
Hi, Mom.
For tuning in. Let's see, we got Angie on here as well.
Hi, Gigi.
We got Aaron. Aaron still. Let's see. Aaron said, it's going back on politics, but we're not going to stick on it this time. We promise.
Well, let's hear it.
He said, though, this is the first year that he saw an ad about Juneteenth. Just saying, media. Leave it.
You know, you can say that, but the White House actually, after the president said he'd never heard of it, and everyone he ever asked around him had never heard of it, but the White House actually put out a press release about Juneteenth last year. So,
can I just say I didn't know about Groundhog Day until Trump said something about it.
I thought Groundhog Day was celebration of Bill Murray. I thought that was it. Groundhog Day.
No, it's just a movie.
I will say that
it's not a real thing.
I've seen some. It's anecdotal. I mean, I've seen something every year for Juneteenth. Doesn't mean my worldview is everyone's worldview, but I have seen something for Juneteenth every year.
And for us, real liberals on this podcast, we are actually being quite calm. We're being quite calm on not engaging, and I'm very happy. And I love you both for let's not go too deep into this.
I love everybody. We want everybody to be having a good time. That's the whole point.
I just like that people have an opinion and want to share it. So
yes.
So okay, so we got just enough time for one more topic, and that's Dustin. Do you have somebody for Thanks for Something?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, you got a little bit of something?
A little bit of it. So
you started a charity.
Not me.
It's a Dustin Hunter nonprofit charity.
That is not my forte, man. Not that I don't want to. That is not my forte. So we've all been living in the post-COVID world, as it were.
Well, COVID.
I would say not post, but just the COVID world.
Presently COVID.
Post-pandemic. That's when they say post-COVID, and I've heard people say this, and they defend it so hard that no, we mean that it's already happened, and we're in the middle of it.
So, Texas.
So that means that it's post-COVID for some reason.
No more.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of people. I don't know if you guys or lady remember.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You may speak, Mary.
Yes.
I appreciate.
Oh, my father wouldn't allow that.
Oh man. Anyway, in this COVID pandemic world that we live, I don't know if you all remember, but
is he about to tell us like a really long campfire story?
It was roughly a month ago.
It was 1947.
It was right about just before Memorial Day.
Okay.
And there were so many people that just.
I remember people.
I remember people too, and I've been seeing them on occasion here and there, every now and again. But there were so many people that were just freaking out about not being. What about my rights? Why can't I do what the hell I want to do? And people wanting to get their hair salon appointments, people wanting to go out to bars, people wanting to go to restaurants, people wanting to do, is that bean dip?
That is bean dip.
Yep.
Holy mackerel, it's so tiny.
Yep, still
Bean
small.
dip.
Baby.
Good grief, that's adorable.
Dustin, hey, buddy.
So going to Thanks for Something.
So many people. There was a whole lot of well, why the hell? How is the government going to be able to tell me that I can or can't do this? Why is the government able to tell me that I have to wear a mask? Well, to be fair, it's typically the businesses that require masks, but whatever. It's not.
Well, there's mandates put in place.
Your business can't infringe upon my rights. So there was, let's see, where was this to be? In Cleveland. Oh, no, sorry, in Missouri. There's a hair salon and 2 hairstylists.
No, that was Dallas. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
El Paso. There were 2.
Mike, stop. Let
me get there, bro.
Shut the fuck up.
2 stylists who happened to test positive for COVID-19 after working in close contact with 140 clients and 6 coworkers. A lot of people thought that was going to be a big deal. There was going to be a start of a major outbreak, but it wasn't, because the employees and the patrons of this particular salon, which happened to be a Great Clips, don't know if it was a franchise or or a chain, corporate, there we go, but they were required to wear masks. And the results appear to be one of the clearest real-world examples of the ability of masks to slow the spread of the novel coronavirus.
Right.
According to the Washington Post. This has happened in Springfield, Missouri, and the store itself required people to wear masks, and let me see if I can get the actual number here. These 2 hairstylists that tested positive wore their masks because they had to, and they required all of their haircuttees.
They're haircuttees, dude.
Customers.
All of the hairs.
Yeah, that's probably a better one, Mason. Thank you.
The hairy ones.
But you call me bloody. Yeah.
They required all of their customers to wear masks as well. And would you like to know, with those 2 employees that had tested positive for coronavirus, and they were wearing masks, and all their customers were wearing masks, how many of their 140 clients tested positive afterwards?
0.
0.
Masks, man.
But masks don't do anything. Masks, it's pointless to wear a mask.
Yeah,
You know what I started saying to that? Because at work we have to wear a mask, and a lot of people come in. They're like, it's bullshit. Like, it really doesn't do anything.
Oh, it's dumb.
I just started saying, well, thank you, good doctor.
Well, no, and I agree with that, because it's almost like if it doesn't affect somebody personally, well, then they don't agree with it. And it's like, well, how many times have you heard of a friend's loved one dying now? Like, I've seen 3 or 4 of like friends that I know where a loved one, an uncle or a grandfather, a sister even, like, pass because of it. And it's like, wow, this is great. Not my sister, but like a friend.
No, it doesn't affect me.
No, but that being said, hello, Sarah. It's good to have you.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So that being said, this is what's wrong with the country is it becomes political. And it's like you have to pick a side. Either you believe in it or you don't. And this is one of those things where it's like it shouldn't be political.
It's not a political thing.
It's not.
It's a science thing.
Just wear a goddamn mask.
Yeah.
Just wear a mask. Stop complaining about some stupid baloney. Like, what the hell? You have to be inconvenienced that you have to put a cloth cover over your face? Shut up.
Yeah, Brittany just said right now, and Trish, thank you for hopping on here as well.
Hi, Trish.
Hi.
Brittany said, "Stop being so damn selfish." Like, that's the best way to put it. Like, just.
But you have to realize the mentality of these people that largely are the rights. That they're largely the got my rights conspiracy theorist. That when it comes to things like. Yeah, exactly. When it comes to wearing a mask, when it comes to even the nature of COVID itself, they set themselves up for perfect success, because what happens is those hair the hairstylists, they wear a mask, and whatever you want to call them. I call them hairstylists.
I don't know why you just went like stylists about that, but yeah, anyways.
Stylists. If they wear a mask and the patrons wear a mask and no one gets it, then the masks work. Or actually, in their minds, COVID is not as strong as everyone made it out to be. If they don't wear a mask and only a few people get it, well, the mask never worked to begin with.
Right.
And it goes on with, just the mask in general, to where you can say that if I wear a mask around 100 people a day and one person gets it, they got it from me because the masks don't work. Or
it's 99% effective.
Well, but they don't see it that way. Yeah. Is what I'm saying. Like in their mind, they already made up the narrative.
You're forcing me
everybody to die
that I don't want to do. So you can just go straight to hell.
I'll go to Texas.
Because our governor sure as hell won't do anything about it.
I'm not so sure anymore. He might be backtracking. Right now.
I don't think he's going to actually do anything.
We're going to have another quarantine.
He's going to do the exact same thing the president does. And instead of actually rolling back, opening the state, they're going to keep pushing forward, because he came out, 2 weeks ago, and was saying, well, if the young people would take this more seriously, it wouldn't be a big deal. When his lieutenant governor at the beginning of this was saying that maybe we should let old people die to get the economy going. Like,
hang on, man. All lives matter.
Pick one.
So yes, I will say right now, Mother just said, until they know someone that has it or dies from it. That's
it's not real.
I also want to
say
not
real until it becomes real.
I'd like to welcome Andy. You're reaching the end of the podcast. We're about to actually end right now. So, Andy, thank you for checking us out.
I just wanted to say thanks for something to those 2 specific workers and that great clips for enforcing a mask rule with all of their clients. And now no one's sick because of it. So thanks for something.
And thanks for nothing to everybody else who's going to say wake up sheeple when it comes to
we are all sheeple.
Hospitalizations are on the rise. But
no, you're not looking at the right numbers.
But what exactly what happens is no matter what, even if all those people tested positive, even if the hair stylist had the coronavirus and passed it on, that would have been a false number. They would have said, oh, they're just saying that so they can promote closing a business down. Or
would it have been their right to not wear a mask, and it's the people's fault for going to somewhere where they might have gotten infected?
Well, no, they're coming from the narrative that it's not real, and anything made up, like whether it's a positive or a negative, they formed it to where it fits their narrative. They formed
because it's a hoax.
They are converted first. They are converted first, and then they read the scripture, and so they know exactly what they want to happen, and so they will fit the narrative perfectly. But Mike, I know you're going to close this out in a second, but in regards to Jason Mraz, I just want to say one thing. One time,
I was just going to say why.
Oh, it's not about Jason Mraz. It's about someone who I hate as much as Jason Mraz, which is James Blunt.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
One time, Noel Gallagher of Oasis lived next door to James Blunt, and he sold his house and moved because he couldn't stand the fact that he was living next door to someone writing such terrible music.
You're beautiful.
That's a beautiful fact, actually. I love it very much.
It's a true fact.
So for everybody who joined us this evening, thank you very much. And thanks for nothing. Like I said to everybody else, please wear a mask. It looks like Tarrant County might be going into a mandate here on Thursday. So,
Well, we'll see. Betsy Price just basically tweeted out, y'all wear a mask, and that's it. There's not been a mandate yet, but We'll see what happens.
Kathy wants to see Bean Dip one more time.
God, that cat is so adorable.
Look how cute.
Bean Dip, I love you.
He doesn't listen
Adorable.
to anything. But
Adorable.
that being said,
it's
it's
because
me,
he's a
Mike.
cat.
Mary, thank you for coming on this evening. I hope
Thanks,
you
Mary.
Thank you, Mary.
come on again sometime soon. Was it fun? Did
I
you
loved
enjoy
it. I
Okay,
loved
good,
it.
good. I
If
knew
you're in the neighborhood,
if you would just get out of the bedroom and come in here, I'll unlock you from your
Will
cage.
you let me out of the kitchen?
I will.
Thank you.
To the left
Yeah.
of me is Mason.
Woman's place.
On the bottom is Dustin, and we will be back on next week for the 108th episode of Thanks for Nothing. In 2 weeks, we will be having Mr. Adrian Neely, come on to join us. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And anything else, guys? You guys got anything else you guys want to say? Because I'm about to make everything awkward and actually try to close off this feed.
I got nothing. I have nothing.
I have thanks for nothing.
Mm.